Welcome to Independent Lifestyles. I'm Lisa Hurley, Caregiver Coordinator for the Aging and Disability Resource Center of Sheboygan County. Today I have with me Dana Elmsen. She is with Sheboygan Senior Community. Welcome, Dana.
Hi, Lisa. Thank you for having me.
It's so great to welcome you here today. And just let's start out with a little bit of background and explanation of what Sheboygan Senior Community is all about.
My pleasure, I would love to. So Sheboygan Senior Community is a faith-based nonprofit. We're a continuum of care, meaning we have short-term rehab, assisted living, and skilled nursing. We've been around since 1962. We were actually founded by St. Luke United Methodist Church. So we are right now currently located at 3505 County Road Y in the town of Sheboygan. We're on a beautiful 40-acre campus. If you haven't been there, or if any viewers haven't been there, they should definitely come and check it out.
It is beautiful. I've been there several times.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Of course.
And today we're going to be talking about an exciting partnership. Mm-hmm. And it's for a program called School for Seniors.
Yes.
Wow, ingenious. So let's talk a little bit about the partnership that Sheboygan Senior Community has formed with Lakeland University for School for Seniors. And how did that get started?
Sure. So School for Seniors has actually been around since 2016. It started with a partnership with Lakeland University and the City of Nena's Committee on Aging. So they actually started in 4 years ago, and they did a one-day almost like a seminar with 3 different classes. So our CEO, Paul Treffer, became aware of this and got a hold of Joshua Cutney. He is the Dean of Lakeland's Kellett School of Graduate and Professional Studies, and we got together and started discussing how Sheboygan Senior Community could kind of play a role in Sheboygan County to offer this for our seniors. So we got together and we started putting around different ideas of how we could expand upon what worked really well in Neenah. So what we came up with is a 7-month series. So there's going to be one topic covered for 7 months. It's on the second Thursday of each month, and it's for 1 hour, so from 10 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock in the morning. And we're going to cover a number of different topics that are pertinent to seniors, or we think that would be helpful to seniors. Lakeland has this initiative of lifelong learning, and that just seemed to fit so well with what we're trying to do at Sheboygan Senior Community. We're really trying to shift. We know that we're a healthcare provider, but we want to shift to being more of a community resource and being able to bring in the community and our seniors and have them see us in a different light. Especially, we're going to be hosting these in our gallery, and our gallery is this beautiful space with actual resident artwork, local artist artwork. So they're going to be immersed in this space, and they're going to be learning, and then they can see us and how we can provide this resource, hopefully in a new light.
Great. So it'll be open to the public.
Yes.
For seniors and maybe even family members.
Absolutely.
Along with them. Along with the fact that I'm sure the folks that already reside there are interested in possibly attending.
Absolutely.
So let's get into the details of some of those programs over the 7 months that you're going to be doing. Sure. So let's start with the November one.
Absolutely. The November session is going to be called Common Scams Targeting Seniors and How to Protect Yourself and Be a Smarter Consumer. So the presenter is actually the Northeast Wisconsin Regional Director of the Better Business Bureau, and this is so timely. I think that this just doesn't target seniors. This is across the spectrum. I know I get calls, there's emails, there's so many different ways that people can get scammed. So this is not only timely, but it's relevant. And I think with the use of digital services and platforms, being a smarter consumer, you can't get enough of that information. So we're really excited to kick off the series with a bang, with having the Better Business Bureau be there and talk about scams. And I think this would be perfect for both the elder senior and the incoming senior. It really doesn't matter what age you are for this one. This is going to be a really good one. So after that, we're in December rather, we will have tips for falls prevention. So this will be with Greenfield Rehab, and they're going to go all over different things of how to stay safe in home. We know that December and even right now, we're always looking at different slippery conditions, and we really want people in the community to know what to look out for and really look across all of the spectrums and anything in the home, outside of the home, in the car, at family members. We really want them to stay safe. So that's going to be our December session.
And boy, falls can really be detrimental to someone's health. So anything you can do to prevent falls. Certainly at the ADRC, we're constantly promoting that.
Sure, absolutely. So January, we're kicking off the new year with memoir writing and the census. So this is the assistant professor of writing at Lakeland. She's going to be coming out, and I think this is just a great idea because I know even at my age, I'm doing things to prepare myself for my elder years so I can go back maybe when I have dementia and I can say, I know what I enjoyed and what music I was listening to and what my favorite restaurants were in Sheboygan when I was this age range. So I think this is another one that would be perfect for almost any age, any type of senior, any family member. Maybe if you have a family member who's not capable of writing anymore, or maybe their methods of communication might be different than what we're normally used to. This would be perfect because we really want to be able to pull out these stories. I know I often look back at the letters my grandma wrote me, and it's just remarkable to think what they were going through that period of time, and it makes me feel closer to her even though she's not here anymore. So the January session on memoir writing I think will be just remarkable, and I think it'll be very meaningful for the folks who attend.
And you know, Dana, I work very closely with the Family Caregivers Coalition. And I think this would be a perfect activity to promote to family caregivers, and it would be something that they could attend with their loved one. So I think that would be perfect to try to get the ball rolling on documenting some of that history that exists, and I think have a little bit of fun doing it as well.
I totally agree. So then February, now this one is going to be a little bit different because our February session landed on the TEDx event that's happening at Lakeland. Now what's remarkable about this is that Sheboygan Senior Community is an official sponsor of TEDx at Lakeland University. So because this landed on our...
So can you flesh out, I know what TED Talks are, so can you flesh out a little bit of TEDx?
Absolutely. So to put it shortly, TED Talk is going to talk about an idea, something new, something innovative, technology, education, design. It really is covering a number of different topics. The TEDx is bringing local topic experts to bring forth those ideas, and the February session is all about 5 years from now. So the presenters will be talking about their ideas of what Sheboygan looks like 5 years from now. So we don't know what those people will be speaking on, but it will be all relevant to the state of Sheboygan and the future. So because Sheboygan Senior Community is an official sponsor, we decided that anybody who wants to participate in School for Seniors can go to that complimentary through this program. So this is actually in the evening, so this is a one-off. It is going to be 7 to 9 in the evening on February 13th at Lakeland campus. So the rest of the sessions are actually hosted at Sheboygan Senior Community. This one will be at Lakeland because it's going to be in the auditorium. There's going to be a bunch of people there. I am so excited. These are very notable events, and it definitely puts Sheboygan on the map in a new way. To have TEDx be hosted at Lakeland is just remarkable. I'm very excited.
Boy, that sounds awesome. And for the seniors to be able to experience that and see what that's all about, I think is going to be just wonderful to do that. And good idea incorporating it into School for Seniors.
I just get excited about thinking about a senior going to TEDx and telling their grandchild and have the grandchild relate to that so well and think, oh my goodness, my grandparent is so cool and so hip, because it really is something that resonates with people my age, but then throughout all of your years, the topics covered at TED Talks and TEDx are just very unique. So that's February. March, we're going to have the assistant professor of music and director of bands from Lakeland come out and do a program called Old, New, Borrowed, and Blue, Pop Music Through the Ages. So they've done this one in Neenah, and this one tends to be so popular because you really are going through a number of different pop music through the decades. So what makes the pop music in the 50s unique, and then you'll even come to today, and they're very different, but they still fall under the genre of pop music. So I think this one is another one that's going to be so fun. I think music really brings out so many memories. In fact, at Sheboygan Senior Community, we have a program called Music and Memory. So I think this one, whether you're a new senior or if you're a little bit older, no matter where you're at, you're going to find something fun about this. And I think what'll be even more interesting is to hear the conversations that come after the program is over, and think about, well, did we go to the same concert at this hall with this band? And those are the conversations I'm really looking forward to as they kind of pull the memories out as they go through the music through the decades.
Awesome, that's wonderful. And as we know, music does bring folks together. Boy, whenever we have an event, if it's with our meal site or a senior picnic, and there's music involved, you know, we always get such a great turnout and people love it. It's great when they can get up and start dancing and kind of relive that era that is, you know, brings back such wonderful memories.
Absolutely. So our April session will be with the Associate Professor of Theater and Communication from Lakeland. This is going to be Speak Up for Yourself, Communication Skills for Everyday Life. So another very appropriate topic, I think, for almost any age, truly. But I think a lot of times as people age, you might not be taken as seriously, or you might be thought to not know exactly what you're talking about due to age. And I think that's a travesty. I think that this will be really powerful for people to learn how to articulate different communication skills. You know, communicating through the ages is something that's very topical right now. How you communicate with a baby boomer and a millennial and someone who's 85 plus will be very different. And then how to communicate with people with dementia. As we both know very well, the way you communicate with someone who has cognitive memory loss is very different. It's unique. So I'm really hoping that this will cover a lot of different ways of communication, but then also give the participants the confidence to go out there, and whether they're at a grocery store and maybe they thought that something was rung up incorrectly, but they don't want to be a hassle. Well, if it wasn't rung up incorrectly, we want them to feel comfortable and confident to tell the cashier, but a lot of times that's not happening.
And there's certainly skills, communication skills that can be learned to do that appropriately, obviously in situations without necessarily getting upset about it, but actually being an advocate for yourself. And you know, that's one of the things that we talk about all the time at the ADRC with our seniors is learning to be an advocate, not being afraid to communicate to the doctor, the bank, someone you're doing business with, of what really your concerns are, or if something isn't done to your standards or your expectations. So that's wonderful, and I see that Charlie Krebs is doing that one.
Yes, and as you were talking, Lisa, it really got me thinking too about the dynamics between parents and adult children. And the parent, the senior, might have a different set of ideals or a different set of desires, and making sure that they can communicate that to their adult child, who might be the one who's making a lot of these decisions, whether maybe the power of attorney has been activated, but that senior still has the right to have their voice be heard and their choice be adhered to. So making sure that even adult children understand how that will evolve and how that communication will have to evolve. There's so much that I feel like could be cleared up if the communication skills were on point. So I think this one is going to be remarkable, and I think the skills learned here will be far more impactful in the future with the communication and the conversations had, especially with those adult children and their parents.
And sometimes that's all a matter of managing those expectations as well.
Absolutely, and being able to use your words is sometimes so important. So we are going to wrap up the School for Seniors sessions. Our last session is in May, so we kind of also did plan this to have something for people to look forward to throughout these cold, chilly months. So our last session is in May. We will take a break for the summer, and that's going to be called Preparing for What's Next, and that's with the CEO of Sheboygan Senior Community, Paul Treffert, and it's really going to go over how to age gracefully, how to communicate with your kids on what your desires are, really planning for the future. I think having a plan, so if there were to be a health scare or if there were to be an injury or an illness that really does change the course of what somebody was once thinking was the trajectory of their life, that they can be prepared. I think that it really ties in nicely with the month prior, with the communication, because they'll be able to already identify these conversations they want to have, and then Paul will go through how to make that happen and really having a plan for aging and talking about long-term care insurance, talking about different things that really will get you safe, secure in your home for as long as possible, because that's what we want. We want you happy, healthy in your home, but then when you do need us, we're there for you. So that will wrap up our 7-month sessions for the School for Seniors. I know we've already started tossing around ideas of what we could do next. Nothing's in the works, but man, we're always thinking about it. But we really are excited to present this 7-month series for people of all ages, and I think it was so important that we really did partner with Lakeland, and we're able to provide this for free. I think that not having a cost associated with it really removes any barrier to entry.
Exactly.
We know that seniors can sometimes be on a limited income, and these sessions are still so valuable. So being able to provide this at no cost to them and having them walk away with these lessons, we're very honored to be able to partner with Lakeland to provide this.
Great. So let's review again the dates for the upcoming 7 months and then the time frame.
Sure. So this is going to begin Thursday, November 14th. So that's our very first session. They are all but one at Sheboygan Senior Community. The February session at TEDx, that's going to be at Lakeland. 10 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock in the morning. And starting with session 1, that's going to be with the SCAMs, with the Better Business Bureau Northeast Regional Director, really looking at how to protect yourself, being proactive, be a smarter consumer. We don't want these people to get a phone call and give away their social security number. It seems intuitive, but those things are happening, and we don't want them to happen. So that's our first session. Session 2, that's in December 12th. That's from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. Once again, that's at Sheboygan Senior Community. That is all about the falls. So we know that falls are so detrimental, and they're a huge thing that we want to tackle and make people know that there are things that you can do to be proactive to keep yourself safe in your home. There are things that you can be safe in the community, identifying those things ahead of time, talking about them. If you use an adaptive device like a cane or a walker, how can you make sure that there are not rugs in the way so you're going to get tripped up on that? It'll really be all-encompassing. I know they'll even look into what kind of medications are you taking.
And that can make a really big difference. sometimes people don't realize that the side effects of medication can be that dizziness, those type of things, and that's when you have the falls. And you just maybe just need an adjustment, or ask the doctor for something else that's comparable but doesn't have the same side effects.
Absolutely, and you are trained to trust your doctor, and you're just going to take these things, and then if you have this side effect, you sometimes won't even be able to identify it. So
that's when these communication skills can come in later, correct?
All interconnected. So the third session, Thursday, January 9th, again, 10 to 11 o'clock in the morning at Sheboygan Senior Community. This is all about memoirs. So really getting these memories written down on paper. I would love to see some of the participants show what they have, even bring in pictures to be correlated to this. You know, the memoirs might also be triggered by the pop music that we have 2 sessions later. Again, very interconnected. But that's our third session. The fourth session, this is the big one. This is the TEDx. This is at Lakeland. This is in the evening, so this is our one-off. So for this viewers at home, this is the one that will be really looking at 5 years from now, really looking at what Sheboygan might look like, or just what the future might look like. And this one, I'm very excited for those grandparents to go and then come back and tell their grandkids and just get super cool points for that. The fifth session, then we're back at Sheboygan Senior Community. This is Thursday, March 12th, 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock in the morning. This is our old, new, borrowed and blue pop music through the ages. So I think that this one will just, I'm looking forward to this one because, again, you have so many different music tastes, but they all are under that umbrella of pop music. So that one will probably have something for everyone to enjoy. The session 6, April 9th of 2020, that's 10 to 11 in the morning at Sheboygan Senior Community. That is with the Associate Professor of Theater Communication. We're going to go over communication skills for everyday life, which we went over how important that is. There's so many things can be just solved with better communication. So I'm excited for everybody to have huge takeaways for that. And then that leads so nicely into the final session, which is on Thursday, May 14th at Sheboygan Senior Community, 10 o'clock to 11 in the morning with Paul Treffert, just planning for what's next, having a plan. God forbid anything tragic were to happen, but if you have a plan for that, you're able to set that into motion. You're not as caught off guard.
As we say at the ADRC, know us before you need us.
Exactly. Exactly. So, and again, all of this packaged together, we're so fortunate to have this opportunity just to partner with Lakeland. This is our first endeavor in partnership with Lakeland, and it has been remarkable. From working with Joshua Cutney to working with their marketing department, everything has been just such a pleasure to work with them, and we love that they are this local resource, and having a university in Sheboygan County just, again, it puts us on the map in such a great way, and to be able to partner with an educational facility as respected as Lakeland really does just put us in perfect alignment with our goal of really transforming people of thinking of Sheboygan Senior Community as a nursing home or a retirement community. We'll always be that. We always want to provide those services, and that will never change. In fact, we'll want to expand upon those services in years to come. But we want to have people now start looking at us as this community resource. So when you have questions about the aging process, if you want to learn more as a senior, we want people to think of those things synonymous with Sheboygan Senior Community. So this is just an exciting endeavor. Again, it's free for all
and
to
how
attend.
do people register?
Great question. So they'll call our building at 920-458 888-2137, and they will talk to our receptionist, and we'll get them signed up.
And just say you're signing up for School for Seniors.
Exactly, and then if they want to let us know which session they intend on attending, we'll mark that down, and then they're good to go. Then they can plan an awesome 7-month excursion through learning, and really, I'd love to talk to someone who goes through each session, and like I said, we're always thinking about the next thing and how we can even make what we've done even better. So I think we're just scratching the surface of lifelong learning and our partnership with Lakeland.
And some people may attend all, some people may say, hey, there's 4 out of these 7 that seem like of interest to me, or I can make that, or...
That's a great point. That's a perfect point, Lisa. You can pick and choose if you want to do one and done. If there's just 1 out of these that seems really interesting, maybe it's the TEDx talk at Lakeland, or maybe it's the communication skills. They can come to 1, they can come to 2. You can really craft your learning experience so it can be exactly what the person is looking to achieve.
Great. And now, Dana, you are the marketing and development person.
Yes.
So just real quickly tell me a couple of minutes about what you do in that position. And I know you have a passion for what you do, and I know you enjoy seeing the seniors every morning when you enter the building, correct?
100%. I love my job. I feel so fortunate to work with this population. I could honestly go on and on about how much I love this. Because,
a couple of minutes.
But I really didn't ever intend on working in healthcare or in a nonprofit setting. But when my grandmother passed away, I felt a void, and I started at Sheboygan Senior Community shortly thereafter. So I started immersing myself with these seniors, and the love and the knowledge that they want to share with you is second to none. Truly, when I go and walk the halls, it reminds me of why I'm doing this. I feel like I'm the lucky one. I get to work in their home, and I really do view it like that. We are all fortunate to be invited into 85 residents' homes and care for them and love them as if they're family. So my position in marketing and development really is pushing out that message, but also identifying different nonprofit partnerships, like this one with Lakeland. This one fits in perfectly to our goals with marketing and community outreach. We want to be seen as a neighborhood partner, a good neighbor that you would go to if you needed a helping hand. So we have a bunch of different partnerships with different nonprofits in the community. The Food Bank is one, Sheboygan Theater Company is another, and then with that, we actually bring our residents to the theater company. So these partnerships serve for not just for us, but for our residents as well. So that's kind of a really short look into what I do and how much fun I have while I do it.
Awesome, and I can definitely tell you do. So thank you for being part of Independent Lifestyles program of the Sheboygan County Aging and Resource Center.
Thank you.